Hi, I'm going to do a painting from memory. It's one of Headley Heath, or based on Headley Heath. It's a lump of heathland in northeast Surrey, almost into the Surrey Hills. It might well be on the edge of the Surrey Hills, near Dorking, Banstead, not far from me anyway. And it's just a clump of trees balanced by a smaller little copse of trees here, and some distant hills. But after the storm, and I'm going to try attempt this with, I've not done it in ink before, so I've just sorted out a rigger that I think might be appropriate. So, blank canvas, and I'll just start to work something. I want quite a low horizon for this, and I don't want my trees to go off the page really. But the lower the horizon, the bigger the sky, the less work you have to do in the foreground. But I won't make it too low, so I'll just put this across here and coming round here. I've demonstrated this type of painting several times in oil and acrylic. So, just a bit of undergrowth. Someone asked me, there's a new subscriber, new to watercolour, or new to painting, if I could get my camera closer because they would like to see more of what I'm doing. But if I put the camera any closer, you wouldn't see the whole picture. I will just get a bit heavier here. Just coming round. I even put a fence in there. Put a bit of a path in there maybe. Then we've got another little copse here. Just a balance really. Oh, this is the problem. We just right, it's just a little bit heavier here. Then we'll have some fun trying to do the trees. So bits of grass showing through the water that I shall put in. I'll do some of this with painting rigger. Bit of mud showing through. A lot of water going on in there. Okay. So this is just stuff coming along here. Just going off a picture there. Okay. So now we want to do do a bit of a tree. Quite a heavy one coming up here. A lot of scope here for ivy, all sorts of stuff. I call stuff because it stops you naming things and drawing from memory rather than thinking, although I'm drawing from memory, but then I've done a lot of it. So we'll get that one coming. Across here. Much thicker here. A bit more water in the paint. Just ordinary black acrylic paint. These coming across here. And then really have fun with these. I'll save some for the brush. Get some ivy going up here. When you go go a bit wrong, you can change it into something else. You have branches coming up from behind, some thick. Right, that's it. Right, let's just get some ivy. I'll put that in green around this. Okay, so there's one basic tree, and we'll have another one. Well, I'll do the one over here, the balancer. Try to keep your branches different, each one different to everything else, otherwise it will just look monotonous and regimented, which we don't really want to do. And a few bits and pieces coming up here. Been cold today, been out on the bike ride along the Wandle with my Asian mates. Okay. Now we have a few in here. That's the dominant tree. We don't want anything as big as that really. But we'll have another one, and we can put blue trees in the background of this. To show the wood going on behind, rather than just in one plane. Okay. Just get that a little bit thicker there. Now, what this one here just to come up a bit thicker, going across here. Okay. We'll have another one here. Just sitting and missing the paper here. There's shadow in here. Just anchor those. In here. And the rest I'm going to do with the brush and some watercolour. Don't want to take too long on these drawings because it all takes away from the painting. Although the painting will be quite quick. Some bits and pieces coming up here, just little scrubby trees. Right, okay. Now, I think with this little flat brush, I'm going to put in. No, I won't put any fences in. I just want to put in some foliage with this rigger. and yeah, those winter trees, I'll change the rigger to a smaller one. Those winter trees again. I just love doing winter trees. I'll elaborate on these, the shapes of these a bit later when I do the paint. Oh, there's someone here. Try not to get any blobs. Okay, that will do. I'm going to give that a dry. So take your headphones off. Right, okay. Now my paint's been languishing in the Ziploc bag overnight since yesterday. So we've got lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. First thing I do, they're 21mm tubes of cotton and watercolour. The first thing I do is to wet the paper all over. If you watch Stephen Cronin's latest video, his hake snapped across there. That's just a bit of wet rot, I think. When your favourite brush suddenly gives up the ghost. Okay. So now, because we've got a strong drawing, we don't really need to do too much painting, elaborate painting. But we'll warm the sky up with a bit of burnt sienna, a bit of light red, raw sienna, should I say? It's sort of we can make it early evening or morning, whatever you want. Now, because I'm doing that, I want to put in some water. Now we'll get some alizarin crimson, some ultramarine, and we'll just stroke it in, get across here. And we'll do a bit of shadow, so mix a bit of light red with that, and then we'll a bit streaky, but that will do. Right, recut the paper as it expands. Right, okay, I'll give that a bit of a dry now. Take your headphones off. Right, now, some ultramarine and some alizarin crimson, or not as thick as that, or more blue, but just right, this is the, there's a bit of burnt sienna in that as well. So we can put in some of this. Canopy shapes, bring them down this will be the background to show that there's something going on behind. And I forgot to put my background in, which I will do in just a moment. So just get that in there. Okay, we can go a little bit stronger. In there. Right, we won't, yeah, we can put a bit in there as well, but I'll do that in a minute. Now I want to put in a background, bit of alizarin, bit of those colours really, and I'll just put those in. So some distant hills, trees. Okay, now while that's doing, we'll put a bit of stronger stuff in there, so a bit of burnt sienna, a bit of blue. Okay, just flicking out a couple of little bits of trunk. Right, okay. Now I'm going to just start to put in some of this foreground here. It's mostly mud, a bit of grass, so we're putting a bit of sienna, a bit of ultramarine, a bit of lemon yellow. Now I've got to remember that there's water here. But by the time I put the reflections of the trees in dark in here, it will take on a whole new aspect. Now my brushes just spitting a little bit. This is just grass in the murk of things. So a little bit of burnt umber in there. Burnt umber, a bit of Payne's grey. Burnt umber, as you probably know, is the fastest drying colour on the palette. So when you're using oils, anything you mix with burnt umber tends to dry quicker. Although if I ever do, I don't suppose I'll ever go back to oils. Not with a brush because of the solvents. But I would use alkyd resin, at least in the titanium white, which is my main white. Right, okay, so that'll do for that minute. Let that dry. Put a bit of very pure yellow across that horizon there. Okay, just captures a little bit of grass colour. Right, now I want to put in some burnt sienna in here just to warm up, so there is some warmth in there. Bit of green in there. put in some dark green now. Just in here. Going a bit darker than that. It's just the ivy. Sort of dry brushing now. Really thick paint. So when you're in the summer you can't show this. Alright, a bit darker. Mix a bit of Payne's grey with the burnt sienna. I'm not bothered too much where the light's coming from. Right, okay. Excuse me. Now I'm going to put in the canopy to these, so burnt sienna and a bit of Payne's grey. Then I'll do the background to the I wasn't going to go that high, was I? Just there's a few warmer notes at the end of this. Come on. Right, try my hake, and I'll give the whole thing a bit of a dry now. So I've bit with the rigger, the number 4, so blue and alizarin, but darker than what we used before when we did the background. Just come up here. Oh, that's wrong brush. I want the new rigger that actually holds some water. Bit of sienna in there. Right. Now you can get quite a good thick line with these riggers. The idea is to show a cooler colour to stretch the landscape back. Right. Plenty of water. Mix a bit of sienna in with it, just to darken it a little bit. Just gives that impression that there's something going on behind the warmer foreground. Right, I suppose we're going to go with that. A bit over the other side here. Just nice tall trees going nowhere. Okay. Alright, we'll have some darker branches. Then we'll do a bit in the foreground. It justifies having all those all this canopy when you can put in some nice twigs and branches into the canopy, hit and miss, because now the paper's really dry. It'll take this dry brush effect. Right, a bit more over there. Just put in some stuff. Okay, now switch to the smaller rigger and get some nice greeny grey burnt sienna and lemon yellow. So we'll just put in some ground texture, just with the side of the brush. All very simple. I know it looks easy when I do it, but I've done a lot of it. The thing, my main advice to anybody that is beginning, and these are for beginners too, is when you can't do it, don't quit. Carry on until you can do it. It's something you learn to do. There will always be people better than you. There are plenty of demonstrators on YouTube better than me. I just do what I do to the best of my ability, and what I've done has taken 40 years to learn to do. It's a hobby. Well, it started off as a hobby. Keep the day job. Another bit of advice. Look, we're just creating that nice bit of ground texture of grasses just showing through the thin, shallow stormwater. It's not a river or anything, it's just a bit of ground. You know, it's like when you walk through a marshy, boggy landscape. This is what you see. Right, I'm going to overdo that. So now we want to put in some reflections. So we've got that star. Coming down here. So no, just a grey and a sienna. It makes a nice warm, rich dark. Slightly wind ruffled. That's one. And we'll just keep doing all that. Across here. Okay, there's a bit more. Got this one here. Don't forget we've got to do the big rigger. We've got to put some ivy on that as well. Look, just repeating what's above. And we've got more here. Okay. Now we've got this one here going across here, and one going over there. And we've got some of those blue ones. Try to get them approximately underneath where you're doing all that bluey stuff. And we'll show you a bit of that background in here. Right, I'll give that a dry. I think we need, since I've got left that white, it's a good idea to fill that with the reflection of that background. Right, okay. I figure. Walking squelchily across here. Let's put a figure in. Wants to be quite large, otherwise it'd be out of scale. It's not very good, is he? But anyway. Okay. Well, we'll not the greatest portrait that ever lived. Okay, I'll give it a signature. I'll put it in the ivory mount. Seem to like the ivory mount. Although there's a lot of blue in this, I think there's also a lot of sienna. There we are. So there we are. I could have done better with that, but he's got a long coat on, hasn't he? He's got to be in scale with the trees, but at the same time he gives scale to the whole landscape. You know how tall great big oak trees are, and I've simplified it as much as possible. I'll bring the camera around as close as it's going to be, and we'll just zoom out a minute. Right, so that's the landscape. That's after a storm on Headley Heath, or clearing storm, clearing. I'll think of something. Right, let's go into close up now. So that's my ivy, all very simply done. But as you put the darker paint on, it tends to tone down the black, the contrast between the black. So there we are. That's that smaller tree. Now we'll come across to the big trees. We'll go up. Then I want you to see what I've done behind. All very impressionist, all done very quickly. You don't need to labour these things. That's my scrubby undergrowth, and here are my reflections. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.